Okay, I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Good morning, everyone. I call this meeting to order at 9:02. If you can all please rise and join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Y'all may be seated. City Clerk, can you do the roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor Lopez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Here.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes, I'm here.
Councilmember Menke,
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. City Clerk, do we have any changes to the agenda?
There are none.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move, Ibarra.
A second, Gonzalez?
By Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Gonzalez to approve the agenda. I'll call the roll. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember
Sorry, I
Davis,
could barely hear you, Lisa.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes,
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Is that better, Melissa?
Yes.
Now we will take public comments from members of the audience. At this time, the public is encouraged to address the City Council on any matter that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The public will also be given a chance to comment on matters which are on the posted agenda during City Council deliberation on those specific matters. Do we have any public comments?
There are none. If you would like to address the council, please use the raise your hand button. Mayor, I think we're okay to proceed.
Okay, thank you. We will now go on to presentation item number 1.
Item number 1 is proclamation in recognition of April 2021 as National Autism Awareness Month in the City of Vernon. And I will read the proclamation of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Vernon declaring April 2021 as Autism Awareness Month. Whereas autism, the fastest growing developmental disability in the United States, affecting more than 3 million people, is a complex disorder that affects each person differently, resulting in unique strengths and challenges. And whereas, in recognition of the growing needs of the worldwide autistic community and to raise awareness about autism spectrum disorders and the need to provide services to individuals and families who are affected, the month of April is globally recognized as Autism Awareness Month. And whereas early diagnosis and intervention programs lead to significantly improved outcomes for individuals with autism. And whereas, in light of the growing impact of autism spectrum disorders and the need for greater awareness, Autism Speaks holds its Light It Up Blue campaign on World Autism Awareness Day, designed to increase awareness about autism by asking participating organizations to turn their lights blue. And whereas the City of Vernon wishes to invite all residents and businesses within the City of Vernon to participate in Autism Awareness Month in the hopes that it will lead to increased understanding and acceptance of the autism spectrum disorder. Now, therefore, the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Vernon, on behalf of its employees, residents, and businesses, hereby declares the month of April 2021 as Autism Awareness Month, the 6th day of April 2021. Signed by Mayor Leticia Lopez.
Thank you, Lisa. We will now go on to item number 2.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. Today's City of Vernon City Administrator Report is going to include topics with the spring extravaganza, the COVID-19 efforts, testing of vaccines, an election update, the Tree City USA designation, the BJ, Commercial Real Estate Award, the elected officials participate in the Project Westside Stakeholder Advisory interview, the Leonis Substation Number 3 Bank Upgrade Project, and the VPU Gas Division Public Awareness with LA County Fire Department. So on March 25th, Vernon hosted its COVID-19 friendly spring extravaganza. Goodie bags were delivered to all the residents with the help of the Easter Bunny. Photos were shared on the city's social media platforms over the weekend with a holiday message for the community, and the following slides included some of the photos of the event. We'll go through some of the photos quickly. The next is the health department has been working tirelessly to make Vernon's vaccination program a success. Frankly, they've done an amazing job. As of April 1st, approximately 5,000 employees at Vernon businesses have received their first dose of the vaccine, and approximately 2,000 have received their second dose. The Vernon Health Department team and Stacy Medical have offered vaccinations at approximately 90 Vernon businesses. The Vernon's mobile health unit continues to visit around 4 sites per day. The health department is in the process and has secured a second mobile unit to ramp up its efforts to vaccinate the Vernon community. Our hopes is that one mobile unit can go and vaccinate while the second is designated for the second vaccines. The mobile vaccination effort has garnered local media attention, and the city has promoted its program via press releases, interviews, and social media platforms. On March 30th, the LA Times ran a story about the Vernon's mobile vaccination program and how it's been positively received by the businesses and their essential workers. The following are slides included photos of events at Farmer John and Rose and Shore. Supervisor Solis visited Farmer John at the time of the Vernon's on-site administration of approximately 500 vaccinations to essential workers at the Farmer John facility. For photos at Farmer John, vaccinated workers received their vaccinations in Vernon stickers. Here's some additional photos. Here you have photos from the visit to Rose and Shore on March 17th. Local media was present during the vaccination process at Rose and Shore's facility. And here are some more Rose and Shore photos. Election update. The city's general municipal election to elect a council member is next Tuesday, April 13th. Ballots were mailed on March 15th and must be returned by 8 p.m. on election day. You can drop off your ballot at the City Clerk Department Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and until 8 p.m. on election day. There will be a ballot drop box at Vernon Police Department substation at Vernon Village Apartments on election day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. as well. You can mail your ballot as long as it's postmarked by April 13th and received by April 16th. Ballots for the June 1st, 2021 special municipal election will be mailed beginning May 3rd. Additional information on the city's election is available on the website or by contacting the City Clerk's Department. Vernon has been named a Tree City USA for the second year in a row. The Arbor Day Foundation recognizes cities throughout the nation that have demonstrated a commitment to maintaining an urban forest. Vernon was one of only 3,500 communities in the United States to be named a Tree City in 2020. The 4 communities participating are Linwood, Paramount, Vernon, and Montebello. The work will span from the fall 2020 to summer 2022, starting with Linwood and ending in Montebello, and there's no cost to the participating cities. At the end of the project, the City of Vernon will receive a report that identifies the percentage of surface area that is under tree canopy and opportunities for additional coverage. The report will serve as a roadmap for tree people to plant trees in Vernon and also provide guidance to Public Works. Next topic is the Los Angeles Business Journal, LABJ, hosted its 26th annual Commercial Real Estate Forum and Awards on February 24th, 2021 to recognize award-winning developments that enhance Los Angeles. Prologis Vernon Business Center was honored as Silver Commercial Real Estate Award winner in the industrial category. A congratulatory ad was placed in the LA Business Journal March 1st edition to acknowledge Prologis Civil Commercial Real Estate Award for its state-of-the-art facility in Vernon. This is a great publicity for the city and solidifies the brand and position with developers and high-producing commercial real estate brokers. Ultimately, these types of high-profile honors can positively impact the city's growth. Next topic is, as part of Vernon's Project Westside specific plan to rezone the city for residential and retail development, civic leaders and elected officials were invited to participate in an interview seeking their input on the redevelopment of Vernon. We are happy to share that Senator Lena Gonzalez applauds the city's vision to involve and diversify to increase our residential population and add much needed housing to the region. Supervisor Hilda Solis, Director of Planning, Wacas Riemann, provided valuable insights on Vernon's redevelopment potential. We appreciate Senator Gonzalez, Chair Solis, and her staff for taking the time to make the city staff and consultants and meet with them regarding this project. City administration will continue to engage and include all local leaders and elected officials when possible. Next topic is the substation transformer banks at Leona substation. They were originally installed in the 1960s. Due to the aging infrastructure, VPU has determined that all transformers at the Leona substation needs to be replaced. The number 3 bank served as a 7 kV bank as part of a project that was converted to 16 kV to provide additional 16 kV source to alleviate the growing 16 kV load at Ibarra substation. New 16 kV circuits will be provided and add capacity to the system reliability and the 16 kV load in the center of the city. These images show removal of the 7 kV transformer and the site demolition. The third image is the new foundation with the oil containment. And finally, the last image shows the transformer being put into place. On October 23rd, the new transformer was energized. Load pickup on the December 1st, 2020, incremental loading and testing throughout the January 2021. Full load pickup was completed on January 27th, 2021, and gateway project to future upgrades at Leona substation. Next topic is VPU's natural gas division met with LA County Fire to discuss natural gas awareness and emergency operations. Previous to the city's transition to the LA County Fire Service, VPU Gas Division Superintendent Dan Cordova had an annual meeting with the Vernon Fire Department. March 23rd was the first time that we will become annual meetings with the LA County Fire to discuss natural gas awareness and emergency operations. The introductory meeting covered a detailed overview of the Vernon's gas transmission and distribution infrastructure, including the locations of the city's transmission and distribution pipelines, the location of the operation of the pressure relief valves, leak recognition and response, VPU pipeline reliability measures, and then pipeline damage prevention measures. This is a photo of the gas superintendent, Dan Cordova, discussing the gas system infrastructure at Fruitland Regulator Station. LA County Fire staff was engaged. VPU is working on future trainings and topics requested by LA County Fire. That concludes my report.
Thank you for the report, City Administrator Fandino. We will now go on to item number 3.
Item number 3 is general fee schedule for fiscal year 2021-22, and Finance Director Williams will present the report.
Yes, good morning, Honorable Mayor, Honorable Members of the City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to present for the Council's consideration the general fee schedule for the upcoming fiscal year 2021 and 22. Now, the timing of this has been moved up a little earlier, and we'll do that going forward in order to provide the opportunity to incorporate any future adjustments to the fee schedule into our revenue estimates as part of the budget process. So each year, as part of the budget process, we update the general fee schedule, and this includes any additions, deletions, corrections, or revisions. And the purpose of a master fee schedule, for anyone who's not entirely familiar with it, this is a reference tool to provide one consistent source of information on fees and charges, and thus the continuous revision as there's a lot of information in the code and so forth that has to be consolidated here. And another key point is that a fee is a specific charge for a specific service, such as an inspection or a plan check, to be distinguished from a tax. So last year, the city contracted to have a cost allocation fee study, and those findings were presented by the city administrator in a town hall meeting with the Business and Industry Commission. And the discussion was positive as well as the feedback. And these findings were presented to the council at last year's budget. Now, due to the state of emergency, the council last May directed staff that any changes due to the unknown impacts of the state of emergency in our business community, that these would be tabled until further evaluation, probably later this year, and really until we're no longer in a state of emergency. So in other words, until further notice. So the schedule in front of you incorporates only fees that were either missing from the schedule or mandated, state mandated fees that need to be in there, or just minor revisions, none of which impact the businesses for fees related to permits and inspections. So that concludes this update for this year, and the department heads, as well as myself, are available for any questions or discussion from the council.
Do any members of the city council have questions of staff at this time?
Yes, Scott, I have a question. Which fees are the state mandated fees?
I'll defer to Lisa on that. I believe some of these were hers.
Off the top of my head, if I recall correctly, the subpoena fee is state mandated.
And that-
Records, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Document imaging records fees are state mandated. Let me open the document.
And these are all highlighted in the schedule. But again, this is just part of the revision process as a new mandate either comes up or we discover it in this case.
Do we have any further questions of staff? I will now open the public hearing. If any member of the public would like to speak on this matter, please click the raise the hand button. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Please state your name and business affiliation, if any.
Again, for the attendees, if you'd like to address the council, please use the raise your hand button. Mayor, I don't see any raised hands.
Okay, so we will now close the public comment portion of the public hearing. Does the city council have any questions of staff at this time? Seeing that there are none and all questions have been addressed, I hereby close the public hearing and open council deliberations. Once deliberations are complete, I will entertain a motion. Is there a motion for item number 3?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, seconded by Mayor Lopez, to adopt resolution number 2021-05, approving and adopting a general fee schedule for fiscal year 2021-22. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis, Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. We will now go on to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion. Items may be removed from the consent calendar by any member of the council. Those items removed will be considered immediately after the consent calendar. Does council wish to pull any items from the consent calendar? Are there any public comments for the consent calendar?
No, there are not, Mayor.
May I have a motion for consent calendar item numbers 4 through 10?
I move Davis.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Davis, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra to approve the consent calendar. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
We will now go on to new business. Item number 11.
Item 11 is General Services Agreement with the County of Los Angeles, and Public Works Director Wall will present the report.
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, the item before you approves and authorizes an agreement between the City of Vernon and the County of Los Angeles for miscellaneous services that may be requested by the city on an as-needed basis. This agreement allows the city access to specialized services from the county, ranging from anything including bridge maintenance, animal control, traffic signal timing, and prosecution services for the enforcement of city ordinances. By having this agreement in place, the city is able to utilize these services without delay when the need arises. The rates for the various services are determined annually by the county auditor controller, and there is no obligation upon the city to use these services. This concludes my report.
Does council have any technical questions of staff for item number 11? Are there any public comments for item number 11?
There are none.
Being that there are none, may I have a motion for item number 11?
I'll move Kip Menke.
I'll second Lopez.
Motion by Councilmember Menke, seconded by Mayor Lopez to adopt resolution number 2021-07, approving and authorizing the execution of a general service agreement by and between the City of Vernon and the County of Los Angeles for a 5-year period from July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2026. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. We will now go on to item number 12.
Item number 12 is construction contract to Cedro Construction, Inc. for the 50th Street Water Main Replacement, and Public Utilities General Manager Alamu will present the report.
Okay. Good morning, Mayor and council members. The item before you is a construction project for the newly being constructed well 22. In a way of background, construction of well number 22, which is located near Soto and 50th Street, is underway, and it's planned, and it's one of BPU's newest and largest capacity water well. It's capable of producing 2,000 gallons of water per minute. The well number 22 drilling and casing project was completed last year, March 2020. In preparation for the equipping, basically, putting in the actual, pumps and motors. That's called the equipping process. A flow analysis was performed shortly after on the existing 10-inch cast iron water main on 50th Street. The analysis determined water pressure concerns for the customers downstream of the well, as well as corrosion buildup on the iron pipe. Water division staff has worked closely with the selected consultant, Pacific Advanced Civil Engineering, Inc., to develop plan and specification for the 50th Street water main replacement project. The project involves replacement of the current 10-inch cast iron pipe with a 12-inch cement mortar lined ductile iron pipe. Cement mortar lined ductile iron pipe can prevent the pipe from premature failure over the existing cast iron pipe. Additionally, The increase in the diameter of the pipe from the 10-inch to 12-inch will allow water to flow more freely and maintain typical system pressure. On January 28, 2021, BPU advertised the request for bids for the project. The bids was posted on the city's Planet Bid website and published in the local newspaper. The bid for the projects were received and opened on February 25th, 2021, and a total of 8 bids were received. VP Water Division staff evaluated the bids and deemed that the bid received from Cedro Construction, Inc., the lowest responsive and responsible bid. Based on staff's bid evaluation and reference checks, VP Water Division staff recommends award of the proposed construction contract to Cedro Construction, Inc. The proposed construction contract has been reviewed and approved as the form by the city attorney's office. Fiscal impact. The fiscal of the project is $964,976 plus the contingency amount of $96,000 for not to exceed amount of $1,060,976. At approximately 10% of the total not to exceed contract amount, the contingency will allow for unexpected changes during construction. This contingency amount is typical for the size and scope of this project. The project is included in the Water System Revenue Bond 2020 Series A and will be funded with bond proceeds. This concludes my presentation. Now I'm open for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Does council have any questions of staff on item number 12? Are there any public comments for item number 12?
There are none.
Seeing that there are none, may I have a motion for item number 12?
I'll move Ibarra.
I'll
Second.
second Menke.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Davis, to find the action exempt under CEQA, to accept the bid from Cedro Construction and reject all other bids, to approve and authorize the city administrator to execute a construction contract in the amount not to exceed $964,976 and authorize a contingency of $96,000 for the 50th Street water main replacement. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
We will now go on to item number 13.
Item 13 is amendment to the classification and compensation plan, and Human Resources Director Earl will present the report.
Morning, Mayor and members of the City Council. Staff is recommending approval of 2 job descriptions and their associated salary ranges. In the City Clerk's office, it is proposed to reestablish the classification of Deputy City Clerk. Currently, there's a vacant records management position that will be reallocated and replaced with the proposed deputy. There's a need in the department to have a position that can perform higher level work and work that is more varied than the specialized records management duties of the records management assistant. As City Council may recall, this position had previously existed and has remained unfilled. There are minor changes proposed to the previous job description, and based on the salary survey, an adjustment to the salary is recommended. Additionally, this position is proposed to be designated as exempt from overtime due to the administrative nature of the duties and responsibilities. Staff is also proposing to establish the new classification of administrative aide. As proposed, this classification will serve as an entry-level job in the clerical and administrative series of classifications and require minimal previous experience. This classification is being proposed at this time in order to provide additional staffing on a temporary and limited term basis to assist the Health and Environmental Control Department in the community's COVID-19 vaccine program. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Does council have any technical questions for staff on item number 13? Are there any public comments for item number 13, City Clerk?
There are none.
Seeing that there are none, may I have a motion for item 13?
I'll move Ibarra.
I'll second Lopez.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, seconded by Mayor Lopez, to approve revised job descriptions for the position of Deputy City Clerk and approve new job description for the position of Administrative Aide, and adopt Resolution Number 2021-08, amending Exhibit A of the Classification and Compensation Plan. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Now we'll go on to oral reports. City Administrator Frandino, do you have a report?
Yes, I do. As noted in my earlier city administrator report, Vernon has made some serious headway in its drive to make available COVID-19 vaccines to essential workers. With the second mobile health unit and eligibility expanding to encompass all 16 years and older, on April 15th, the city hopes to accommodate a larger portion of the Vernon community in the next coming months. So I'd like to bring on Freddie for a couple seconds to discuss some of the plans, but our goal is to go to residents of Vernon within the next couple of days. Hopefully we can schedule it for the 15th, but we'll schedule it with the residents and then start taking the mobile van there and get residents vaccinated that choose to take on the Pfizer vaccine. So I'll let Freddie talk a little bit about what the program is and how we're going to mitigate it over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Carlos, and thank you, council members and mayor. Yes, so we are planning, we actually working with city administrator's office to schedule the residents on April 14th. So I think there's an outreach already going on to get that. And we also not only just resident, we open it up to other family members, including city employees also. The goal is to get everyone that need a vaccine in Vernon vaccinated. So please get the word out. City admin is going to be also reaching out. But we're going to bring the van over to Vernon Village, to Furlong, to anywhere the residents are, to make sure that we provide that service to our city residents and also to city employees, including family members that wants to get the COVID vaccine. Our goal also is to work with our city businesses as we've been doing. We are also getting requests from actually outside city limits. So that is something that we're going to be discussing with city administrator as part of the good governance and helping our neighbors if that is something moving forward we may entertain. So that concludes my update. If you have any questions, I'm available to answer.
Thank you, Freddie. DTSC cleanup. So in August and September of 2020, the DTSC took control of, or took soil samples from the yards of the homes on Fruitland Avenue. The DTSC used the information to determine the depth of lead contamination in the soil to aid in the development of a soil remediation plan. Last week, DTSC scheduled the soil removal work to begin on Thursday, April 1st, starting at the vacant house located at 3361 Fruitland. During the soil removal work, dust control measures like keeping the soil damp and installing plastic wind fence panels on the fences surrounding the yard are being implemented to ensure that these measures are effective dust control equipment that has been installed to alert crews if fugitive dust is leaving the work site. A meeting for the residents of Fruitland with the DTSC is scheduled for Tuesday, April 6th at 6 p.m. at 3361 Fruitland. This meeting will discuss what each resident can expect during the work in their yard and the optional temporary relocation while soil is being removed from the yard. A letter was also provided to Fruitland residents on April 1st to advise of the information session scheduled for tomorrow. The ADA compliance, the Vernon and Santa Fe intersection, which runs adjacent to the Holy Angels Church of the Deaf, is being prioritized for ADA compliance improvements. the nearly $100,000 of work which will be completed during the next fiscal year in phases by a combination of public work crews and contractors. The intersection is one of the several items that were identified by the city as needing work to be compliant with ADA standards. Orange tier. LA County has qualified for the COVID-19 orange tier threshold effective April 5th, and the county health orders and sector protocols will be updated to reflect the changes. And I think they were updated last night. We will change the lights on the elevated tank to show all orange. So that should go into effect last night. So if you drive by the elevated tank, all the colors will be orange. As of March 30th, the county's adjusted case rate dropped from 3.7 new cases per 100,000 people to 3.1 new cases per 100,000 people. And again, this information is 2 weeks behind, and we know that those numbers have dropped even more significantly. The county has met state requirements to reopen key sectors and will permit a wider range of indoor operations to resume with safeguards in place. Bars operating outdoors only for limited hours. Restaurants, movie theaters, fitness centers, hair salons, zoos, museums, and grocery stores can all increase indoor capacity. And card rooms can now operate indoors on a limited capacity. People should still continue to wear face coverings when in public, continue practicing physical distance, and avoid crowds and large gatherings. If you are fully vaccinated, you will no longer need to quarantine if you leave LA County or if you leave the state of California. However, if you're not vaccinated, the LA County is asking that people self-quarantine for 10 days when returning back to LA County and encouraging people from the outside not to enter into LA County. In-person meetings. So with recent announcements promising COVID-19 vaccination available to all persons effective April 15th, it seems appropriate time to reconvene in-person city council meetings. So on April 20th, the city will resume hosting council meetings in the council chambers. Remote participation will continue to be available if requested by any council members. Until further notice, committees and commission meetings will remain virtual for board members and attendees. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any reports from City Council?
I have a question, concern. Regarding the COVID-19 grant program. I'm sure we have a lot of people who applied. Right, Carlos?
Yes. Scott, can you give an update of where you are with that, please?
Yes, we had the first round of review, and that's all been presented to me for the final. There are a total of 25 applications under review that have been submitted.
Okay, so after all the qualifications are submitted for this grant program, who decides who gets what based on what needs?
So this was actually, there are 4 evaluators before this comes to me. So we put in place a very objective system of ranking that follows the actual application itself. So once those are, and they are complete, and I've had a chance to review all those, they will be forwarded to the city administrator, and the final decision rests with the city administration. But I will make my recommendations. So you have a lot of eyes on this coming from a different perspective, and we've done our best to put this in as objective of a ranking as possible. So there's actual numerical rankings similar to the way we do an RFP.
Well, let me just say this, Letitia, being that you're here, our mayor, wouldn't you say that all of our residents would benefit if they all receive some kind of money from the city?
I think we had a discussion about that during the grant meeting, right? So this is what was collectively decided on at that meeting, that this is the way we would proceed.
I'm just saying because there's a lot more people who are not turning in their paperwork because there's paperwork. That
We
would,
should just encourage them to fill it out. And City Administrator Fandino, is there any way that people can have assistance in terms of filling out the applications? Maybe by
Sure.
staff?
I mean, the applications were sent out to all the community members. We made personal phone calls to each resident. We explained to them the process, and I believe we received 25 applications from that program. If the council decides or desires, we can reach out again to the residents and encourage them to apply and offer assistance to fill out the application process. We do have a system in place to evaluate each application, and those systems have different criteria on the needs basis for each residence. Again, the grant program is up to $3,000. So we will make our recommendation once before the committee that Scott reviews it. Once that committee reviews it, then it'll go to Scott, and then Scott will make his final recommendations to the city administration department. But I will reach out to the residents if that's what city council desires.
can we have
Carlos-
the council take a look at it?
Carlos,
The- for the
can I put a recommendation in, and maybe the council could back me on this? Can I get an update on the next meeting on the status of it? And do we need to increase the funds for it? That's number one. And then number two is do some outreach on the people who haven't turned in their application to see if that they need assistance on filling it out.
Also, just by way of reminder, the community has until the 29th. So even though this first pass of everything, so we've completed everything that's been turned in, and that is expected to go to city admin this Thursday, but there is still through the 29th for anyone still to fill out the application or needing assistance to do so.
I understand that, but my request is on the next meeting, the 20th, if we can get a status on it and see if we need to increase funds. And during this time, if, we still have another 1, 2, 3 weeks till the end of it, maybe just do some follow-up calls and see if there's any assistance needed on filling out the application.
Okay.
That's my request.
I agree with Councilmember Ibarra, and I'd like to add to that, however, prior to it coming to the 20th meeting, I would like to, in written form, know who's on the committee, what the exact criteria is. And just like you explained, it goes to the committee, then to the finance director, and then to city admin, who has the ultimate authority. I'd like to see that plan in writing, so we know exactly what the criteria is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we can make that available, and just for everyone's benefit, there's major criteria, and one of them is simply the actual impact, for instance, of COVID-19, because that's the nature of this grant. And so